Dear scholars, through the previous video, we have put an end to learning the explanation of the poem 3.4 The Brook. Through this video, let us see what activities are given in English workshop based on this poem and how to do those activities. Here is the first one. Read the poem aloud with proper pace and rhythm. So it is oral activity which you have to go with reading this poem with proper pace and rhythm. Next, find the meaning of the following words or phrases. First word, ridges. Ridges means a high edge along a mountain, that is edges along a mountain. As it is in plural, we will write edges along a mountain. Brimming means full of something. So we have brimming river in the poem, so that is river full of water. In this way you have to write the meanings of these all words. What are further? Edding, babble, fallow, trout, netted. Next, third activity, answer the following. First, who is the speaker in this poem? What do you think? Who is speaking? Is there any person? No. So the answer is the same. What is the title of the poem? The Brook. It is what? The Brook is the speaker in this poem. Next, which lines are repeated in the poem? What do they mean? So which are those lines? Repeated lines. That is, for men may come and men may go, but I go on forever. These lines are repeated in the poem. So this is the answer of the first half of the question. Now second half. What do they mean? What is their meaning? So it is, brook or rivers live much longer than human being. Isn't it? Next, where does the brook join the river? What is the answer? That is Philip's Farms. Philip's Farm. You have to answer in full sentence. Next one, mention the various places that the brook flows past. Which places are visited by the brook while flowing? So it is at the first, haunt of coot and hern, valleys, towns, etc. Right? There are many. Go through the poem and find them all. Next, fifth activity. Often the brook speaks of itself as if it is human. For example, I bicker down a valley. Here in this line or in this sentence, I stands for the brook, which is not a human being, but still the sentence is presenting the brook as a human being. So we have to find such two examples through this poem in which the brook or something represented as doing the act of human being. Let me give you an example. I chatter over stony ways. I chatter over stony ways. So it is the line or sentence in which the brook is presented as human being, right? So if any inhuman means maybe non-living thing or animal or bird or insect presented as doing the activity of human being, the line or that sentence is called the sentence or line of figure of speech personification. So this is the example of the figure of speech personification. So you have to find such two examples of personification. Next, fourth activity. Spot and write any three alliterative phrases or sentences from the poem. What is meant by alliterative phrases or sentences? So they are the the lines or the group of words which has which have same sound or same sound is repeated in such a sentences or such a phrases. So we have to find the examples of such a phrases or sentences through this poem. For example, by many a field and fallow. Here in this phrase, field and fallow, these are the two words starting with the letter F, and so the sound f is repeated. So it is example of alliteration. Here is one more. I sleep, I slide, I gloom, I glance. Here sleep, slide, sound of s is repeated. Gloom, glance, sound of g is repeated. So it is the example of alliteration. Fifth, list the prepositions you find in this poem. Prepositions are one of the parts of speech which are used to represent or to express time, place or relation of noun to other part of a sentence. Noun with other part of sentence. For example, from, of, among, etc. You have to find all of them from this poem. Sixth activity, list the phrases which have the expression many a. So find such a lines which includes these two words. Which are those? Many a. For example, many a curve. Next example, many a field and fallow. So you have to find out all of them. Seventh activity, the poet uses words to create pictures or images in the reader's mind. For example, and sparkle out among the fern. If we think of this line or sentence, the word fern represent nature. We think of that thought, or we think of that place. Such a lines we have to find out through this poem, where after reading them we have image or picture of that in our mind. Whatever place, whatever scene described in that line, we have image of or picture of that in our mind. Such lines we have to find. For example, by 20 hills I hurry down. So the word hills make us recall the image or picture, or it creates image of hill. The word hill creates image or picture of nature in our mind. So such a lines we have to find. Eighth activity, write a short autobiography of a Brook. Autobiography is something in which the person or something gives own information. So if you think of writing the autobiography of Brook, how will you start? For example, hello, I am Brook. I start my journey from the hills, mountains, from where I just slip down and start flowing through many of the places. In this way you have to start, and whatever explanation, description given in the poem, that can be used, but here you have to write in the form of short essay. Ninth activity, which other things in nature can say, for men may come and men may go, but I go on forever. Just like the brook remains forever, many people comes and they leaves, many people takes birth and they die, but the brook remains forever. So which things from nature can say that I go on forever? Which are those? The sun, wind, stars, etc. Isn't it? Next and last activity, use the internet, your school library or other sources for the following activities. What are those? First, try to find other nature poems. Nature poems you have to find. Next, Draw or collect landscapes that can be used as illustrations for this poem. So, which landscapes can be used to represent, to describe the thought of this poem, that you have to collect through newspapers, through books, or through internet. So this is all about all the activities given in English workshop based on this poem. I hope you all will understand the given explanation and the answers.